Hey Money Vikings, welcome back to the channel. Greg Money Vikings here. Wanted to do a really special kind of recap, about 10 minutes here on a really awesome experience that I was able to have recently. I was able to attend the Ramit Sethi Love and Money Tour here in my hometown, and it was awesome. It was so cool, and wanted to kind of run you through the highlights of it. If you have not seen him live, a lot of it's on his podcast. Obviously, Money Vikings are a bit of super fans here. I really love his Netflix show, and I love his emphasis recently on couples and money. I think it's so critical to the health of our country and the health of other people that are in relationships, or even if you're not in a relationship, because this also has to do with your relationship with money. But the relationships and how money is a dynamic is very interesting to explore, and he explores a lot of it. But I really, number one, I really appreciate his way of delivering the message, his no gimmicks, honest, I think very honest, very straightforward approach to financial management and personal finance. He's also funny. He has a nice sense of humor, so he's very entertaining. But in general, he has a really great way about him. So I really enjoyed it, and I would check out his podcast and his book. So it's a really interesting tour. He basically is bringing like his podcast and his YouTube show where he brings real couples in. He's bringing them live on stage, which I have to say right out the gate, my hat's off to the couples who agree to do this. That is so brave of them to get up in front of 500 people and talk about their personal finances, the good, the bad, and the ugly. That takes a lot of courage. So I thought that was really nice. My hat's off to those people. But I'll talk a little bit about his opening remarks, and obviously this is all in his books and everything, but he talks about why money is so important. And I want to dovetail this with the messaging of Money Vikings that we have been talking about for years on our blog and on my channel as well. It's very similar stuff. I mean, I've always wanted to demystify money, talking about investments. There's so much confusion out there in our society about investing and personal finance. There's so much shame. There's so much guilt. There's so many mixed messages we get from advertising and the media in terms of what is really a rich lifestyle. It becomes this really fake thing, very Kardashian-like, and it's really warped, I think, our society in a really bad way. So it was really nice to be with like-minded people and to hear his message, very common sense, very straightforward approach to everything personal finance, investing, etc. But he really, to me, it was an exercise in how to understand our own behaviors, and I'll get into all that. But for me, a lot of it, I think the biggest takeaway is that if you go see him or if you watch his show, I think you walk away with a better introspective approach into your own relationship with money and in personal finance, and then how that dynamic is playing out in your relationship as well. I'm married, and we have our dynamics and have had our many money conversations over the years, about our past and how we approach money and all that kind of stuff. And finding, I don't know if there's any perfect out there, but finding a way that you're really both working in sync with each other, I think is so important in your relationship, especially if you're having a family and all that stuff. So I find it really valuable what he puts out there. So he does talk about, if we don't know our relationship with money, how can we manage this in a relationship? So if you don't know your own relationship with money, how can you come to a partner and work together with your financial goals and do that in a harmonious way that helps both of you become better and stronger? And the other big message is he talks about how to have fun. He said having fun with money. I do really like his message. It resonates with me a lot. About he doesn't do a lot of the guilt. He has a very specific recommendation for a percentage of your budget that is absolutely guilt-free spending, so that you're not worried about the $5 cappuccino. And he even joked about that. He said sometimes some of the wealthiest people that come talk to him, they're fretting over the $5 charge, and we'll get into that as well. But the other thing that I really appreciate him is opening up a discussion that for most of my life has seemed like a taboo thing. Talking about money has always seemed taboo to me in general in our culture. And I think it's really important that there's people out there like him. I'm trying to do the same thing. That's the whole point of Money Vikings, is for us to put out there what is working, what's not working, through hard-nosed experience, as just a normal person, not a guru, not a person with a trust fund or from a big wealthy fancy background, but a normal middle-class person trying to make it in America, build wealth, have a decent lifestyle, enjoy a few of the things where our priorities lie, and just grow wealth over time, right? In a very constructive way that makes a lot of sense, isn't dependent on kind of odd schemes or crypto to the moon, but is a very sound approach that can work for most people. So very good. He talks about the four types of money psychologies that I guess he has experienced. I don't know where his source for this is, if this is from his own experience or if he read this in some sort of psychology of money journal or something, but he basically categorizes 4 different types of money people or money personalities. The first one is the avoider. It's just like it sounds. So I've seen a lot of this in my life with people that we've talked to with Money Vikings and talked to just in life. But this is someone that just absolutely, can't open their credit card statement. The fear of facing it head on, just cannot look at investments, can't open their mind or confront the reality of what they're in. It's a really actually sad position to be in. My heart actually breaks for these people. I feel really bad for people that are in the avoiding category, because it just only gets worse from what I've seen. And it really snowballs into a situation where just it ends up in bankruptcy, all kinds of stress, trauma, whatever it might be. But yeah, the avoiding thing, oh, that's rough. So that's the first type of person. And we're probably, and as I talk about these 4 types, I was realizing when I was listening to him, we're probably all a different shade of these things. Like maybe we fit more into one category, but we might have aspects at times of the other categories. So the second one is the optimizer. He did make a joke that there's probably a lot of optimizers in his audience. These are the people that are kind of like us, the Money Vikings people, or the spreadsheet people, really fascinated and thinking about finances and resources and investing, and really like engaged and intrigued by the whole thing. And so it kind of has become a hobby for a lot of us, and we're very into it. So, but he does talk about the optimizer can go too far, right? It can become like not fun, right? If you're agonizing over every little penny, or, one person told a story about, their friend, instead of paying $200 for a plane ticket to go see Ramit, they drove like 8 hours or something, and, to, I don't know, save $100. I mean, it took 8 hours, and I don't know. So the optimizer thing can go too far. There was another person that talked about optimizing like every expense as part of a vacation. It's like, oh God, I mean, on vacation, don't you want your mind to just kind of relax a little bit and, take a deep breath, take a step back? Yeah, it can go too far. It can be helpful in some ways, because the person will probably, again, optimize their finances over time. But again, anything can be taken too far. The third one is the worrier. So this is the person just constantly worried, constantly stressed about money. This is probably someone that maybe they came from a family where there was a lot of financial distress, a lot of family trauma about money. And so they're just worried all the time about it. And that's a really sad place to be. I mean, that's and again, that's why we started Money Vikings. Was the whole channel is about providing and implementing and delivering the tools to take control of our own finances and manage it in our own way. So there's the worrier. And then number 4, I found really funny. I've known many of these folks in my life, but and I love them, but there's the dreamers, and they're the ones that always have the next big, sort of scheme, or the next big crypto to the moon, or the next big, GameStop short squeeze, or the next big business venture that's gonna multiply and 10. They talk about 10xing and all this whiz bang stuff it's all like get rich quick stuff, right? And I don't know. I've never found, with Money Vikings, I've dabbled with some of these things in the past, maybe little business adventures or crypto or whatever, but I've never seen it just, to the moon where it's like, overnight millionaire. I go back to, there's fundamentals that you can put into place that can really ensure that you're going to build wealth over time, and you're going to get stronger and stronger and better at money over time. And you're going to be able to optimize your life in many ways. But anyway, there's the dreamers out there, and I think a lot of us know them. So those are kind of takeaways. Again, my hat's off to the people that went up on stage and were interviewed by Ramit, and my hat's off to him. Thanks, Ramit. Great stuff. Really enjoyed the show quite a bit. Really enjoy your delivery. Enjoyed the message quite a bit, adding a lot of value. So thanks a lot. I'm going to do an article on it in the future. Check out truewealth.moneyvikings.com. I'll be doing a blog post on this stuff and just continuing to tailor it and kind of combine it with a lot of the ideas that we've talked about at Money Vikings really, sort of resonate with the messaging of that Ramit puts out there. But I do really like a lot of his concepts for sure. So, hey, thanks a lot for watching. Hey, please like and subscribe. We continue to grow the channel and grow Money Vikings and deliver more good content your way. So, all right, thanks. Bye.